It seems crazy to think about these days, but the Statue of Liberty, one of the most iconic landmarks in New York City, almost didn't end up here. In fact, for a while, it looked like it might go to Philadelphia or Washington, D.C. The story of how it did end up here is one of persistence and figuring out creative ways to sell the project to the public. The year is 1870, and French sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi is inspired to create a monumental statue to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the American Revolution, as well as the end of slavery in the U.S., and perhaps also inspire his fellow country people in France, who were at that time under the rule of a monarch. Work begins on the statue in 1870, and by 1875, Bartholdi feels ready to announce the project to the public and request donations, which come in from French residents across the economic spectrum. All the United States has to do is find a location for the statue and pay for a pedestal, but efforts to raise money prove challenging, so supporters come up with a dramatic way to get attention. The already complete arm and torch of the statue are placed here in Madison Square Park in 1876, and for 50 cents, visitors can go to the top of the torch and get a view of the park from a few stories up. There are also miniatures of the statue sold for $1 and $5, as well as fundraising auctions of art and writing, including a sonnet composed by Emma Lazarus called The New Colossus. In time, the poem becomes intrinsically associated with the statue and turns it into a symbol of hope for immigrants. But fundraising remains slow. Even the novelty of a huge disembodied arm in the park wears off after about 6 years. All this delay has allowed other cities to throw their names in as alternatives to New York. Boston tries, Philly is in contention. There's even a proposal to place the statue on top of the Washington Monument in D.C. In steps Joseph Pulitzer, owner of the New York World, one of the city's most popular, if over-the-top and controversial newspapers. An immigrant from Hungary, Pulitzer had become a proud and patriotic American. He puts the fundraising effort into high gear by appealing to both their civic and personal prides. On one hand, he writes an editorial declaring, "Let us not wait for the millionaires to give us this money. It's not a gift from the millionaires of France to the millionaires of America, but a gift of the whole people of France to the whole people of America." But he also publishes short testimonials in his paper from donors on why they contributed. This encourages others to donate, not only to do their part, but also for the chance to have their name in the newspaper. The campaign is a huge success, raising enough money to pay for the pedestal in less than 6 months. The arm that was here in Madison Square Park is, of course, eventually reunited with the rest of the statue and has been raised above New York Harbor since the statue's dedication in 1886. Unlike back in its park days, however, today visitors cannot go up into the arm or the torch. There's a reason for that, but that's a story for another day. Be sure to follow me for more videos.